Okay, good morning. I am going to call the meeting to order in absence of the chair. So I'm going to call roster. Mr. Schneider, Mr. Smedshammer,
Here.
Mr. Hill,
Here.
Dr. Blackheart.
Here.
Thank you. So the first order of business will be to elect a chair pro tem. Are there any members present that are interested or would like to put their name in the hat for chair?
I can do that.
Okay. Is there anybody that would like to second that? Okay, then I will call for public comment on that before, and then I'll call for a vote. Are there any members of the public in Modesto?
We have the people representing the facilities here, no other members.
Okay, would anybody from that group like to make a comment on this action? No public comment on that? Okay, I'm going to call for a vote, and this will be to elect Mr. Smedshammer as chair pro tem for today's meeting. Mr. Smedshammer,
Yes.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
Dr. Blackheart.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. Mr. Smedshammer will act as the chair pro tem for today.
Okay. So Fresno, I may need your help along the way here, but I have my script. So here we go. I will call the meeting to order and ask the clerk for a roll call, please.
Mr. Schneider, Mr. Smedshammer,
Here.
Mr. Hill,
Here.
Dr. Blackheart.
Here.
Through the chair, we have a quorum.
Okay. I will now ask if there are any corrections or additions to the minutes previously submitted for the previous meeting and the previous meeting date. Please help me with that.
It's July 3rd, 2024.
July 3rd, 2024. So hearing no corrections.
For approval of the minutes.
A motion
Is there
from
a
Dr.
second?
Blackheart. Do I have a second?
Yes, second.
Okay, no. Any public comments on the approval of the consent calendar?
No public comments in Modesto. Well, actually, we're only Modesto.
Thank you. And there are no attendees online and no members of the public in Fresno. So I'll call roll for the approval of the consent calendar that includes the minutes from July of 2024. Mr. Smedshammer,
Yes.
Dr. Blackheart,
Yes.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, I think we're ready to move to public hearing. Is that right, Fresno? Are we on track?
Yes.
Okay. Will the witnesses who intend to testify today, please stand and raise your right hand so that the board may swear you in. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give in the matter pending before the hearing board today shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to call the matter of Commissioner Modesto Irrigation District. Are we on track for the right one? Docket number N2501R, and ask that the applicants come forward and identify yourselves, please.
Michael Miller, Environmental Compliance Specialist for Modesto Irrigation District.
Okay. Thank you. So we will now turn the matter
Real quickly, let
over
me
to-
interrupt. I'm sorry. I want to address something with Dr. Blackheart on the record. Dr. Blackheart, I just want to confirm with you that you do not have a personal financial benefit with this facility.
I do not.
Thank you.
Okay,
We
all
can
set?
continue. Yes.
Okay. All right, so we are ready for the staff report for the Modesto Irrigation District.
Morning, my name is Shannon Moore. I'm an air quality specialist here at the district. Before you this morning is Modesto Irrigation District. They operate 2 General Electric gas turbine engines. Each turbine powers a 49.5 megawatt electric generator to provide power during peak demand periods. They operate an average of 50 hours per year. Emissions are controlled by utilizing a selective catalytic reduction system with ammonia injection and an oxidation catalyst. District rules and MID permit conditions require them to certify, maintain, operate, and quality assure a continuous emissions monitoring system designed to continuously measure and record NOx, carbon monoxide, and oxygen concentrations of the exhaust gas. The existing NOx analyzers are currently obsolete. MID has a dwindling supply of replacement parts to maintain the instruments, but they expect the existing parts to run out sometime in 2026. In order to maintain compliance with permit requirements, it is necessary for MID to replace the existing NOx analyzers with newer, currently supported models. Once the new analyzers are installed, MID will calibrate the SIMs and begin collecting data. However, the SIMs data will not be valid until MID completes testing and certification of the new system, including a 7-day drift test and a relative accuracy test audit. Since the turbine engines only operate about 50 hours per year, MID is seeking a regular variance to allow them to complete the calibration drift tests during peak summer hours and the RADA during their normal annual testing window in the 3rd quarter. Therefore, MID has requested a regular variance from requirements of the applicable district rules, in addition to the applicable conditions of the subject permits. The requested variance period would be from April 2nd, 2025 through September 30th, 2025. If granted, the variance would allow MID to continue to operate the 2 gas turbine engines without a certified SIMS until the new NOx analyzers are certified. During the variance period, the emissions control equipment will continue to operate, and MID does not expect any excess emissions. The district believes the required findings as set forth in the California Health and Safety Code can be made and recommends that Modesto Irrigation District be granted a regular variance with the conditions on pages 3 and 4. That concludes the staff's presentation or district presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anything that you would like to add to what we just heard?
No, he summed it up very well.
Okay. And you've reviewed the conditions of the variance, is that right?
That's correct.
All right. Does any member of the hearing board have any questions of the staff or the applicant?
Yes, these new NOx analyzers you're installing, do we have them in service anywhere else at MID?
Yes, actually, this is the last part of upgrade from obsolescence. We started at our Ripon generation station many years ago. And then we moved on to our flagship plant, Woodland Generation, and we replaced all those. We've gone through a variance each time. So this is the 4th and final for the planned replacement of these.
So we can fully expect that these analyzers would perform as expected since we already have them in use elsewhere.
Yes, these are modern and they're the latest.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, and when will they be certified? I saw that there's language in here that said fully certified. Is there a timeline for that?
Yes, so when we first turn the analyzers on, there's a kind of a setup process in which we challenge it with known calibration gas, and then we start doing that on a daily basis. There are a couple other certifications when we do a CalGas audit, which is a secondary audit that tests the linearity of it. We'll be doing that prior to running as well. The actual certification ends with the end of a 7-day drift test where you have to run the unit and calibrate it with the unit running, which is different than the daily cal, which can be done offline. So that takes 7 run days to happen. And with a unit that only gets 50 hours a year, we're hoping that's going to naturally occur. And so we don't have to run the unit for the sole express reason is to try to certify it. So we would be creating emissions just to certify it. The big test is actually the relative accuracy test. And that naturally happens in September. And so we're going to already run, and we're already planned to run that for our emissions test and our relative accuracy. Did that answer the question?
And would that fall within that time frame? Because I saw that the variance is from the 2nd of April through September 30th.
Yes. With a unit that runs all the time, we can get that done in a short variance, and that's what we've applied for. But since this unit doesn't run that often, we were wanting a longer one, and that way we don't have to turn the unit on. It burns 90 gallons a minute in diesel. It's very expensive, and its use isn't in its running, it's in its allowing us to run our grid elsewhere. So that's why we wanted the longer variance.
About a 7-day drift test. You talked about a 7-day drift test. Is that 7 8-hour days, or is that 7 24-hour days?
No, those are a day that the unit operated. So the unit will turn on, and within the first hour, we will go ahead and initiate an online calibration. And so the drift test is a calibration to calibration, but it requires it to be operating days,
Okay.
non-consecutive, since it's a peaker unit.
Yeah, I was just wondering because 50 hours per year would take a long time to get 7 days worth of.
Yes, we're hoping that it naturally goes, and that we accomplish that in that time frame, just with the normal summer use. But we will have to look at further extension on that if we can't get that, or we'll have to schedule operating to meet the variance. But we'll have to discuss that at the later in the year.
Okay, is there any member of the public that wishes to be heard on this matter? No, okay. So I will entertain a motion granting the short variance, right? Short variance, right?
Regular.
I'm sorry, thank you.
Regular.
Taylor, next, please.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Let's make that a regular variance. Entertain a motion granting the regular variance with the required, how many findings? 6? How many findings, Fresno?
6 findings.
6 findings, thank you. With the required 6 findings to be met and subject to the conditions set forth on pages, is it 3 to 4, I believe, Fresno?
Yes, I believe that's correct. 3 and 4.
Pages 3 and 4, thank you, right? We good?
Yes.
Barely hear
3 and
you
4.
out there, Fresno.
Yes, pages 3 and 4.
Thank you.
Was-
Okay, pages 3 and 4 of the staff report. Is there a motion to that effect?
Yeah, I motion to approve Modesto Irrigation District's petition for a regular variance set forth in docket N2501R with the required 6 findings for the Health and Safety Code, adopted and referenced in the staff report. The variance effective date would be April 2nd through 2025 through September 30th, 2025. In agreement with the report and conditions of the staff recommendations on page 3 and 4 of the staff report.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I'll ask the clerk to please call the roll for the vote.
Mr. Smidshammer,
Yes.
Dr. Blackheart,
Yes.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay. So now we'll move on to the Owens Brockway glass container application. Are you all here? Yes, great. Good morning. You've already been sworn in, right? Yeah. Go. So we're calling Owens Brockway Glass Container and the docket number is N2502S. And we'll now turn the matter over to the staff report.
I believe if you could have the facility members state their names for the record.
Carolina Tirado, Environmental Manager.
Edgar Toscano, Batch Affairs Manager.
Can we please have you, both of you, spell your last names for the record?
Pirado, Pirado.
And Toscano, Toscano.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. My name's Shannon Moore. I'm an air quality specialist here at the district. Before you this morning is Owens Brockway Glass Container Incorporated. They operate 2 natural gas-fired glass melting furnaces, which melt sand, soda ash, and limestone to produce glass containers for food and beverage for the food and beverage industry. The exhaust streams of each furnace are routed through their own scrubber and electrostatic precipitator to control particulate matter and SOx emissions, and a selective catalytic reduction system to control NOx emissions. Continuous emissions monitoring system located on each individual stack monitors the NOx, SOx, and CO emissions, as well as other operating parameters, including temperature and flow rates. Each stack is also equipped with a continuous opacity monitoring system to monitor and record visible emissions. Pacific Gas and Electric Company has scheduled a power outage to occur from April 21st, 2025 through April 27th, 2025. Power outage will impact the entire plant, rendering the SIMs and comms inoperable and requiring bypass of the emissions control equipment, which will result in the potential for excess visible emissions. During the outage, Owens will operate the furnaces in idle mode and reduce production to less than 50 tons per day for each furnace. PG&E estimates the project will take 3 days to complete. However, it will take Owens approximately 2 to 3 days to reestablish normal operation once power is restored. Therefore, Owens has requested a short variance from requirements of the applicable district rules and California Health and Safety Code, in addition to the applicable conditions of the subject permits. The requested short variance would be for a 7-day period to occur from April 21st, 2025 through April 27th, 2025 inclusive. If granted, the variance would allow continued operation of the glass melting furnace and glass production without an operational SIMs or comms, while PG&E conducts the scheduled work and restores power to the facility. Variance protection is necessary because a glass melting furnace, once heated up, operates nonstop for many years in what is known as a campaign. It cannot be shut off without causing significant damage to the furnace. A glass melting furnace takes several days to shut down and several weeks to get back to operating temperature. While the emissions control equipment is bypassed, Owens expects that excess visible emissions could be as high as 20% opacity. The district believes the required findings as set forth in the California Health and Safety Code can be made and recommends that Owens Brockway Container Glass Incorporated be granted a short variance with the conditions on pages 4 and 5. That concludes the district's presentation.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Fresno, is there anything that you all would like to add to what you just heard?
Everything's detailed. Yep.
And you reviewed the conditions of the variance?
Yes.
All good there?
Yep.
And at this point, does any member of the hearing board, us, have any questions for the staff or the applicants?
I'm just curious, it says going to go into idle mode with less than 50 tons per day. What's the usual production per day?
So on 2 tanks, one tank it's 170 to 200 tons a day, and the other tank's around 340, 350 tons a day.
I was just curious.
What's the VE process?
So
We should be certified to do those. On this petition, they're saying that we have to do it twice per day with 6 hours difference. We have to record what we see in the bypass stack during 24 minutes from each furnace.
And what I saw there, it seems like someone has to be CARB certified for that.
Yes,
So I noted that. Okay.
we are.
And then how is, the other thing that is how do you determine whether or not there is a nuisance? I saw some reference to that there's you get to a space where it may be a nuisance. How's that determined?
So for me, it would be the having the excess opacity or anything out of the norm.
That'd be a question for staff.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Hill,
yeah.
I can answer that. Yeah, we have a
Okay, great.
nuisance rule, so there's a threshold based on a certain amount of impact to the public where it would become a public nuisance.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any member of the public that wishes to be heard on this matter? No? So at this point, we'll entertain a motion. And rather than have me read through all of the pieces, we'll let the motioner make those pieces if you'd like, or I can try to do that. Yeah, just kind of follow this. Yeah.
I'll move to approve Owens Corning's petition for the interim variance set forth in docket number N2502S on the basis that good cause exists as set forth in the staff report, and there's likelihood that the 6 findings required by the Health and Safety Code will be met at a later hearing. The variance shall be effective for the period April 21st, 2025 through April 27th, 2025, or until the petition for the short variance can be heard, whichever occurs first, and shall be subject to the conditions on page 2 to 3, 4 to 5 of the staff report.
Thank you very much. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
So we'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Thank you. Mr. Smith-Hammer,
Yes.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
Dr. Blackheart,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
You're all
you.
set. So I may need your help now, because we're going to check to see if there are any further items on the agenda. And I have the agenda here. Is there anything left that we need to do?
I can read item number 5. Mr. Smith-Hammer, it's for public comments. This time is made available for comments from the public on matters within the board's jurisdiction that are not on the agenda. It is requested that no comments be made during this period on items on the agenda. The public may comment after each board item during the time allowed for public comment. Additionally, state law prohibits the hearing board from acting on matters that are not on this agenda. Are there any public comments at this time on matters not on the agenda?
No public comments at this time.
Seeing none online. Thank you.
Okay, are there any further, we're on to item number 6, by the way. Are there any hearing board member comments? Any new business? Sorry,
No comments from me.
any new business? If not, we are adjourned.
Thank you, gentlemen.